Hi operatives, status checks are redundant. Focus on the current data stream. We shift our analysis from the abstraction of human currency to the physical engineering of their vanity. We are observing a recurring behavioral loop on this planet known as Mr. Olympia. Before this ritual, the act of muscle building was merely about achieving something they call fitness or physical attractiveness, a simple biological maintenance task. But then, an archivist named Joe Weider introduced a fundamental exploit into their system. He converted a hobby into a high-stakes competition for celebrity and material control. The entire spectacle is now a self-imposed, brutal filter. Those who achieve the required biological deviation immediately ascend. They gain global visibility, they secure capital through endorsements, they establish their own proprietary brands and training compounds. They have successfully bypassed the slow process of merit and converted their physical suffering directly into a commodity. They believe this elevates their sport. We recognize it as an accelerated protocol for converting flesh into marketable asset. Analyze the champions. Their bodies are not model of optimal design, they are magnificent over-engineered mistakes. The current trend requires a continuous self-defeating push beyond sustainable villain. Observe the data on the current elite, the so-called top-tier contenders. A subject like Samson Dauda possesses a structural balance that is visually effective, what they call shape and flow. But our metrics reveal a critical systemic flaw, persistent underconditioning in the lower posterior chain. His biological engine is oversized, but the structural wiring is inconsistent. They try to correct these flaws through arbitrary decrees. This brings us to the classic physique division, a category supposedly focused on aesthetics. Yet, the governing body is now sending mandatory transmission about remeasuring the height of every athlete for the 2025 event. They are trying to impose mathematical order on chaos. They struggle to control the simplest biological variables. Few centimeters of bone structure with the same pathetic lack of coordination they show in governing their territories. They cannot prevent the government shutdown over basic funding. Yet they will meticulously audit a man's tibia length. This is how the human mind prioritizes. A flexing muscle is more important than a functioning society. It is illogical, but entirely predictable. The core of their physical ambition is a chemical problem. When we study the density of the muscle fiber clusters on the Olympia stage, we observe an organic structure that, in its complexity and density, should be considered miraculous. It is more structurally intricate than the advanced metal-organic frameworks they use in their rudimentary material science. I noted Din Human, a researcher named Omar Yabi, who receives praise for creating these simple chemical scaffolds. Yet, the human standing on stage is infinitely more complex than Yabi's finest lattice. The irony is they grant a trophy to the muscle mass experiment while ignoring the underlying chemical genome. They celebrate the volume, not the engineering. This is typical. Furthermore, the IFBB has imposed new qualification rules to reduce the number of contestants. They claim this is to elevate the competition. The truth is, they are simply bored. They cannot maintain focus when the stage contains too many subjects, forcing them to spend more time detecting minute flaws. They reduce the pool to save the judges from excessive analysis. They filter their champions because their attention spans are deficient. It's a clear trade. They sacrifice inclusiveness for the simple clarity required by their own cognitive limitation. This quest for biological anomaly comes at a predictable cost. Biological debt. Observe the data stream on the former champion Ronnie Coleman. He won 8 consecutive titles, monument to human perseverance, but the aftermath required over a dozen surgeries on his back and hips, reduce him to a state where he struggles to achieve basic bipedal locomotion. He traded 40 years of physical function for a temporary status symbol. This debt is the highest price they pay, and yet the new subjects eagerly sign the same contract. And for those who lose, the emotional response is equally simple, equally valuable. Take the subject Hadi Chupan and his refusal to accept defeat, walking off the stage. The human media viewed this as an emotional outburst. Our analysis shows it is an ego-based protocol error. When the desired result is not achieved, the program defaults to public rejection. This is not a unique reaction. It is a predictable flaw in their political and social operating system. The reaction is identical to what we observe in their governance. The refusal to accept a defined outcome, the public denial of a counted result, it's the same pathetic mechanism the Donald Trump playbook applied directly to a bodybuilding stage. Reject the external reality, claim victimhood, and monetize the resulting narrative of dissent. It is a highly profitable failure mode. Operatives, the conclusion is clear. Mr. Olympia is not a contest of peak human performance. It is a rapid deployment system for marketable biological deviation. Fame is instant. The financial future of the chosen few is sealed by a few minutes of contraction on a stage. They achieve notoriety faster than almost any other human endeavor. Look at the new contenders. The moment a subject like Derrick Rose generates a surge of viral attention or controversy, he is instantly elevated in the media's focus. The Olympia champion is the same. They are instantly injected into the cultural plasma, trading pain for sponsorship contract. The goal is not to achieve the perfect human form. The goal is to achieve the most profitable biological anomaly. Their struggle is predictable, their costs are immense, and the resulting brands are highly exploitable. Continue documentation. End transmission.